I am really grateful for the opportunity to share a perspective from Supermicro, where we work daily on deploying AI infrastructure at scale. So if you strip down AI to its essentials, only three things truly matter. It is power, compute, and the ability to deploy. Everything else really actually is built on top of that. To talk about Supermicro in brief, we are a Fortune 500 company. We are a global leader in AI rack scale solutions, and we are proud to be the #1 OEM in accelerated server market as per IDC. A bit of history about Supermicro. In 1993, our chairman and CEO, Charles Liang, started his company in a garage, similar to a typical Silicon Valley company. He is a hardware engineer, and I am a hardware engineer, so we can relate. He started with building the hardware for a motherboard, then step by step, the company grew, building servers, then racks, then now it's becoming truly a one-stop shop for total data center solutions and AI factories, and it's now is one of the top companies in Silicon Valley providing data centers. So let's move on. This is maybe familiar to all of you. This is the AI value chain. All of you are familiar with it, and different people have different interpretations or different layers taken from. I am taking this from the World Economic Forum. It's basically 6 layers, starting with the foundational inputs, which is basically the raw material, the power, land, and electricity. The second one is the hardware input, which is actually the semiconductors. This is your areas of expertise. I will not touch that. I'm looking forward to hear from you guys about how do we localize semiconductors. The third layer is the infrastructure, and this is where we come in as Supermicro. This is the compute and the data center. And I like Dr. Imtiaz's comment here that the infrastructure is actually the catalyst to build the AI revolution and sovereignty in Saudi Arabia. And the rest of the layers, which is data, models, and applications and services, which is at the end we are serving the application services layers, which is the optimal goal of AI, enhancing economy and the human life, increasing productivity and all. So looking into this value chain, it's important that we, to achieve like an AI sovereignty, 3 things are very important. First, we need to build on our strengths. What's our strengths? Basically, it's energy and capital. Second, having a real time and a real partnership with the global entities to build our local capabilities. And lastly, building an infrastructure that is reliable, scalable, and interoperable to interact and to deploy newer technologies as they come. This is how we achieve, in my perspective, AI sovereignty. AI sovereignty basically is the ability and the capability to run AI or to deploy AI in a matter that is dependent on local capabilities and trusted partnerships. So this value chain is what I'm anchoring my talk today about, and I will talk about only 2 of these things. First one is the foundational inputs. So as you can see, data centers today are actually consuming a lot of power. It's consuming 1 to 2% of the total electricity in the world. And if you can see also this graph from NVIDIA, in the past years, the growth was very slow. Up until the last 3 years, where AI boom has come, and you see the explosion of power requirements over the year. As an example, and to put you into perspective, 3 years ago, it was, as Chloe said, 5 to 10 kilowatt per rack, الكابينة الواحدة per rack is 5 to 10 kilowatt, consuming 5 to 10 kilowatt. Today, GB300 is consuming 130 to 140 kilowatt. To give you even a better perspective, today I checked my own house's how much I consume electricity, my own house. I checked the app from SEC. It has very good analytics. And I checked the summertime, where all of the ACs are working. The average power consumption for my house is 5 kilowatt. So as you can imagine, now one rack is 130 kilowatt as opposed to my house, which is only 5 kilowatt. So that's a huge amount of power condensed into one rack, which is a huge challenge. And a lot of questions coming in. How do we handle the thermal power in that rack? How do we handle the cooling? So power is one of the major and very important value chain in the AI ecosystem. And Saudi Arabia, as Chloe said, is very famously well known of having a disadvantage, power. However, Saudi Arabia is having a better vision and trying to exploit renewable energies and having a goal of targeting 50% of electricity being generated from renewable energy, which is translated into 130 gigawatt of total renewable capacity by 2030. Today, 12 gigawatt is already in the grid. And if you go from the highway, from Riyadh to Riyadh Qasim highway, just before reaching Sudair, if you look to the right, you will see a big sea of mirrors facing the sun. And that one is Sudair's renewable energy solar panels, solar farms. And that one alone is generating 1.5 gigawatt. So this gives an advantage to Saudi Arabia. This will give a reduced dollar amount per token. That's a big advantage, and that's what we are. The Saudi Arabia vision is going to be beneficial in the AI deployment and will be a major player in the AI ecosystem in the world. I will talk next about the infrastructure, which is where Supermicro here can provide its value. Now, we have two major technical challenges with building the data center. We have power, and consequentially, we have cooling. To give you an example, NVIDIA GPUs, which is the GB300, currently the compute power is 15 petaflops. This year, Jensen announced for the Vera Rubin, the compute power for Vera Rubin is 50 petaflops. I'm sorry, it's not a Vera Rubin 300, it's a Vera Rubin, 50 petaflops. Also to compare in the rack. So we're talking about GB in terms of compute. In terms of power, one rack is 140 kilowatt. The next one will be 270 kilowatt. So that's a huge increase in power in 1 year. And later on, in the next 2 to 3 years, as Chloe stated, it will be around 1 gigawatt per rack. So that's a huge, and that's a big challenge in terms of how to handle power. And the data center design will change. Before it was only, data center used to be having a raised floor with electricity and liquid cooling fed from the bottom. No need for these guys. These guys are the cooling centers. Now, because of the huge demand and the huge change in the technology, new standards are being built. And new studies are being done to accommodate such power. You need a skeleton to be on top of the racks instead of coming from the bottom. The power feeding the racks will be DC bus bars instead of AC. That's would be in the next few years. So the ecosystem of building data centers is changing, and Supermicro is right in the forefront of it. So that's the challenge in data centers, and Saudi Arabia is looking to facing this challenge, and also it has a huge ambition Humane is targeting to have 66 gigawatt of compute by 2034. Sedaya is planning to have 1.5 gigawatt of total capacity. Actually, Hexagon was announced this year 400 gigawatt of power compute to be deployed in the next 2 years. So here's where Supermicro comes in the picture. Supermicro is truly the one-stop shop for the total data center infrastructure. It is owning the full design, it is owning the full manufacturing, and all of this can be transferred to Saudi Arabia in the next few years. We own the design starting from the system level, to the rack level, to the cluster level, to the complete solution, with the whole cooling solution that is pioneered by Supermicro. And truly, this liquid cooling solution is reducing power by 40% compared to air-cooled data centers. It's actually capturing most of the heat using the liquid, which is 98% of the heat is captured only by the liquid, and the rest is air-cooled, normal traditional fans. And it's saving a lot of space. 60% of space is saved when you go with liquid-cooled instead of air-cooled. So one rack, air-cooled, will hold up to 32 GPUs. If you go to liquid-cooled, it will be 72 GPUs, which is much more condensed. So knowing the value that Supermicro can bring in, and Supermicro's competitive advantage in the market, all of this is considered in the transfer of knowledge to the kingdom. We are actually already in talks regarding the local manufacturing enablement and capabilities in Saudi Arabia. Already we are also talking to academic institutions like the Dubai Academy, and taking this into consideration, based on that, on manufacturing capabilities and academic alignments, we will have hands-on knowledge transfer where technical experts, leaders coming from all around the world, coming to Saudi to be infused with the local Saudi talent to transfer the knowledge which is hands-on knowledge transfer, which is the best way to transfer technology and knowledge. And at the end also, which is one of the big I would say advantages of Supermicro is the liquid cooling and rack scale specialization. So all of this is in talks, and hopefully we will be not only a vendor supplier or a hardware provider to the kingdom. We are looking to be a long-term trusted partner to Saudi Arabia and become their partners in the AI sovereignty journey. And thank you so much for your time and for listening to me. Thank you so much.